wasn't
got a
sure.
phone, go ahead and put your phone on
Very proud
vibrate
of him.
or silent.
That excites me too much if it rains.
I had high hopes of being early today and being organized, and
You are early.
it got away from me.
There's Mike up there. He gave her, he already pointed at it.
What? It's not 2 o'clock?
No.
That sure looked like a good to go sign though, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Oh, we don't.
Oh, I've been out there many, many, many times.
He says, was there a building? I said, yes. He inside.
It's a huge auditorium, a huge exhibit building, an administration building. It's
I've walked out there, but I've never been in the building.
like 2 or 3 buildings. But it's really good. I see Eddie did a good job.
Okay, that's the double. He's given us the okay.
Okay.
He was waving both arms this
Oh,
time.
good, okay.
Yeah.
It's not 2 o'clock yet.
It's like a six
So he must be recording just to make sure that everything's okay.
Hopefully.
or deck, or what do you call it, boardwalk. There's this like handicap access. I don't drive there, I mean, I park the regular parking lot, but I walk through the handicap access. And you basically escape this huge long boardwalk.
So, Tom, typically, or sometimes there's a sequence of events or an order, and I know that he had promised me that he was going to provide or do something of the sort. Kind of blank here. We'll just plug along. This is the reading part, but in regards to roll call, swearing in.
It's at the
typical
top.
It should be at the
procedures.
top of your
Oh,
agenda.
there it is, right there. Got a good sidekick over there.
And if, you know what, let's see how long this is today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sit out there. What's the hippie fest? I saw a sign.
I know, I saw the sign too.
Oh, you
I
don't know?
I don't know what they do.
They had vendors there that sell things from back in the '70s and stuff.
Roach clips.
You're not supposed to know stuff like
I read it.
I lived in Ann Arbor, okay? In the 70s.
There's going to be your food truck rally with a show for conversion
You'll have to
vans,
talk to the city
VW
clerk
bugs,
Oh,
about it. We don't
and
do
then
anything
the
with that.
vendors.
That's not us.
Is that true?
And Irene's
Oh,
not
that's
there.
what you were, okay. All right, okay.
It's up at the
So it's
budget
like a modified
committee.
food truck rally with music, and then it's
Maybe,
tied
but
to an
after
event
meeting.
down on the docks too.
Yeah.
So there's a shuttle van between the two.
Okay.
Probably like Big Brother and the holding company are playing music.
I thought you got an extension
I think that's who is.
last month.
You can't be serious.
Yeah.
Well, but Janice won't be singing because
Oh, okay. Whoopsie.
Right, we issued that, but that's
Gotcha.
all.
All right. I will,
Yeah, you have to talk to her. I don't know what they did over there. Well, she's up at the budget advisory committee upstairs, so, but you can talk to Michelle after the meeting. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Go see her no, go see her tomorrow then. Okay. Okay, okay.
Any luck with your house? Any luck with your house hunting?
Not yet, I've sort of stopped because we got some business, so I've been busy working. So I've stopped looking till, it'll be the fall. I can't sell mine until the snowbirds come back anyway, and I can make a lot of money. I mean, relatively speaking, not an expensive
Yeah.
place, but I can make 4 or 5 times what I paid for it. But I gotta wait till they get back. So I'm not really hurrying anymore.
Oh, that's
I'd like to
nice
be
of
down
you.
where you are, but I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Even, not even on the water, even just down in, I love those little private, out of the way back, don't even really know it's there, you know?
For the first few years I lived there, the police didn't even know we were there.
Yeah.
It's 2:00, and I'd like to call this meeting of the Tarpon Springs Code Enforcement Board of August
14.
14th, 2014 to order.
Did he do the mic thing?
Yes. Can we have our invocation?
I'd be happy for you. You can remain standing, and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance afterwards. Our Heavenly Father, send down your blessing on this meeting of the Code Enforcement Board. Give the board members a clear sense of duty and lead them to a faithful discharge of the same. Direct them in their deliberations at this meeting so that all things may be done to the glory of thy name and the welfare of the people of the city of Tarpon Springs. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
The flag right there.
It's back.
It's back there.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, please?
Chairman Sensoda is absent and excused. Vice Chairman Bessie?
Here.
Ms. Vacasie?
Here.
Mr. Kramer?
Here.
Ms. Archer?
Here.
Mr. Demontis?
Here.
And Mr. Zablisky?
Here.
And for the record, the alternate, Mr. Plunkett, is
Here.
here, and Ms. Dabbs. Here.
I'll now read the hearing procedures. It is the intention of this board to promote, protect, and improve the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Tarpon Springs by providing an equitable, effective, and inexpensive method of enforcing various codes within the city of Tarpon Springs. Any aggrieved party may appeal a final administrative order of this board to the circuit court. Such appeal shall be filed within 30 days of the execution of the order to be appealed. Florida Statute 286.0105 requires any party appealing a decision of this board to have a record of the proceedings to support such an appeal. The procedure of this board follows with each case on its agenda is as follows. Let me repeat. The procedure this board follows with each case on its agenda is as follows. First, the city presents its witnesses and exhibits, after which the violator is to ask the city's witnesses any specific questions regarding their testimony. Secondly, the violator is allowed to make a presentation and present any evidence or documents. Then the city can question the violator's witnesses. After both rounds of testimony, both on the part of the city and on the part of the violator, each party is asked to give a closing statement, first by the city and then by the violator. After those 3 steps are taken, this board then closes the public hearing portion of the case to discuss it and take appropriate action. Before we begin the public hearings, we will have all potential witnesses stand up and be sworn in by the secretary of the board. Please turn off all cell phones.
If you could all stand, please raise your right hands.
Anyone that's going to speak needs to stand up, raise your right hand, and be sworn in.
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you.
We'll begin with our new business. Case number 14-800000270.
Good morning. My name is Cindy Sanner. I'm the Code Enforcement Inspector for the City of Tarpon Springs. This is case 14-800000270. The property address is 222 Earl Street, and the property owners of record are Peter and Marion Kaczynski. And I do not believe anyone is in the audience representing the property owners. On April 23rd of this year, we received a complaint that the water in the pool on this property was not circulating and attracting mosquitoes. I conducted a site visit on April 28th and confirmed the complaint. The house was vacant. There was a large pile of yard waste on the east side of the house. The fence gate was down, allowing access to the uncaged pool. The pool water was green and unsanitary, and there was a Safeguard Properties sticker on the window. This property was in violation of codes 8-40, duty of maintenance of private property, 36.02 pools, IPMC 9-1, International Property Maintenance Code adopted, and IPMC 303.1, swimming pools, spas, and hot tubs. The property owners of record, as determined by the Pinellas County Tax Collector or by the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, were issued a notice of violation on April 28th and a notice of hearing sent first-class mail and certified return receipt on July 8th. A site inspection was conducted prior to each notification being sent. Copies of the notices were also emailed to Safeguard Properties. The property was posted on July 31st, and I conducted a reinspection yesterday, August 13th. I found that the pool water was green, however, the pool gate was padlocked and access to the pool was secured. This property is in violation of codes 8-40, 36.02, IPMC 9-1, and IPMC 303.1. I recommend a compliance date of August 28th of 2014 and a daily fine thereafter of $50 per day. I have been in touch with Safeguard Properties, and they assured me that once they get the bids and get bank approval, they will take care of the pool.
Is anyone present for 222 Earl Street? Any questions of the staff?
Yes, when was the last time you talked to the property manager? How long ago was it?
I could tell you in a minute. Hold on.
I'm just looking at a
It was-
ballpark,
Yeah, towards the end of June.
and they still haven't received the bids to get
It's a
this?
long process.
Oh, it is?
The banks move slowly.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Santa? Go ahead.
It seems to me, Cindy, that in June you inspected this. I looked at the pictures and it does look like the gate is secure. However, it does look like the fence is coming down and be pulled out, or pulled off at any time.
They've been cited for the fence as well.
Yeah, I know, I understand that, but it hasn't been fixed.
Well, it's as secure as it's going to get. I mean, it's,
Even though the boards can be pulled off.
well, boards can be pulled off of any fence. Right now, the main issue is the pool water.
Is the house abandoned?
Yes.
I'm just wondering whether or not $50 a day fine is enough to hazard that it closes.
It's just a recommendation.
Yeah, I know, I understand that. I'm saying that primarily for the rest of the board.
I agree with you. It's been going on a long time.
Yeah,
Be willing to take a motion?
I'd like to make a motion. I move based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented in law that at the time of the alleged violations, sections 8-40, 36.02, PMC 9-1, IPMC, and IPMC 303.1 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Tarpon Springs were enforced. The respondent has until the 28th day of August 2014 to come into compliance with the code sections, or a fine of $100 per day shall be imposed for each day thereafter the respondent remains in violation of the said code section. Second.
May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Plunkett?
yes,
Mr. Zablesky?
Yes.
Mr. Demotsis?
You call my name? Okay. Yes.
Ms. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Ms. Vacy?
Yes.
Chair Vessel?
Yes.
And for the record, we are accepting these photos and
For the record, we are. Thank you for asking. Case number 2 is deferred. Case number 3 is closed. Case number 4, case 14-800000413, 1506 Big Bass Drive. Is anyone present for Big Bass Drive?
Yes.
Do you need assistance?
I know where that is.
Maybe we should have stayed back there.
I've been by there.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Could you state your name and address for us, please?
Carolyn Ludwig, 1506 Big Bass Drive, Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Thank you.
This is, oh, did you show her the pictures? We're going to have her look at some photos.
Happened to go by there the other day. That place, just looking at houses.
This is what the front looks like, but it doesn't look like this anymore.
This is case 14-800000413. The property address is 1506 Big Bass Drive, and the property owners of record are Carolyn DeFontorium and Dennis Ludwig. We received a complaint on June 10th that this property continues to have junk cars on jacks, flat tires, and no tags. At the time of his call, he stated that there was a brown truck with flat tires and no tag, and another truck on jacks with no tag. Sometimes they park them in the side yard. He later called back to say that the brown truck had been towed away and that the silver station wagon was still there and has a blown engine. I conducted a site visit on June 16th. The side and rear yards were overgrown. There was a car with its hood open on ramps on the driveway. The front fender bumper was off and lying on the front lawn. There was an engine lift on the driveway in front of the car. No one was actively working on it. There were tires on the front porch, and since 2001, we've had 10 cases against this property. This property was in violation of codes 8-22, accumulation of trash and debris on private property, 8-40, duty of maintenance of private property, 8-52, nuisance prohibitions, 40.00, parking or storage of abandoned vehicles in residential zones, IPMC 9-1, International Property Maintenance Code adopted, and IPMC 302.8, motor vehicles. The property owners of record, as determined by the Pinellas County Tax Collector or by the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, were issued a notice of violation on June 16th and a notice of hearing sent first-class mail and certified return receipt on July 2nd. The site inspection was conducted prior to each notification being issued. I posted the property on July 30th. I conducted a reinspection yesterday, August 13th. I found an inoperative vehicle with a blown engine and no front bumper parked on the driveway. The rear yard was overgrown and there was trash being stored on the front porch. This property is in violation of codes 8-22, 8-40, 8-52, 40.00, IPMC 9-1, and IPMC 302.8. I make a recommendation of a compliance date of August 28th of 2014 and a daily fine amount thereafter of $100 per day.
Ms. DeFontorum?
It's Ludwig.
Oh, excuse me, Ms. Ludwig.
That's okay, that's okay.
Do you have any questions or any comments for Ms. Sanner at this time?
Well, the side yard has been cleaned up and there are no tires. There's also a fence up there that the only way you can see into the backyard is by standing on top of something and looking over.
That's not true. Yesterday, when I was there, I was able to take those photos from the driveway.
There are no tires there and the lawn is not that tall back there.
It exceeds 12 inches.
I don't think so. I had it mowed last time you guys complained. Every time I get a complaint about the lawn being mowed, I'm sorry, I can't do it myself. It's not something that's in my scope being able to do. I have hired a gentleman who comes out when I need him to, and he mows. At one time, he was coming out about once a month to mow for me. But it's expensive, and it's not something that I can't do every other week. I don't have the money. I don't work. I'm on disability. I've had a stroke, and for the last 10 years, this is how I've been. I've not been able to do anything. As far as the car in the driveway, it's a 2007 Magnum. It is licensed, registered, and insured. And yes, it does have a blown motor. That's something that happened. I went to the dealership and I was told for $6,500, I can get a rebuilt motor put into it, or for another $9,000 and something, I can get a brand new motor. I don't have that kind of money. So I brought the car home. I called around. My son does mechanic work he works at a, I can't even think of the name for the place he works now. But he does have a job working Monday through Saturday. On Sundays, if he has chances and he's home, is when he works on that car. We've had the motor completely rebuilt. He's done it, but we've had to do it piece by piece by piece. As I've had the money, I've had it done. I'm not sure who's complaining, but the people across the street tell me it's not them, that it's okay. In fact, they are the ones that keep coming over and loaning me things when we need something. The engine stand belonged to the guy around the corner from us who's, he is a mechanic by trade. My husband works the night shift. He goes in at 2 in the afternoon and he gets off at about 1 o'clock in the morning. He works a 12-hour shift for PSTA. The local bus company has, so he's gone. And when he comes home, he eats dinner, goes to bed, and then the day starts again for him. He has 2 days a week off, being yesterday and today, and he'll probably sleep until about 5. So I don't have much chances of getting him to do anything for me. I do have a lawnmower. Again, like I said, I can't do it myself. There's just no way. I mean, I could try, and if I fall in the front lawn, then I'm in up a creek. I can't pick myself up. The lady down the street a couple times has sent her guy up to mow my lawn, but the lawn business I've been taking care of. The car, I can't do anything until I have the money. And it's, like I said, it's piecemealing it. It's like the front end was moved. I don't even know where it's at right now. I know he moved it off the front because it was on the side of the sidewalk going into my house. There's a sidewalk that goes this way and then up the ramps.
I'm going to interrupt you, Ms. Ludwig, sorry. I think that you've covered most of the things in that were stated here.
Well, I know the trash too is I have the recycle bins close to the house so I can get to them.
Okay.
I can't go in the backyard to do them.
Okay, if I may, would you put those photos into evidence, please? I'm going to consider that conversation that you shared with us, you're part of a testimony. Ms. Sander, do you have any questions for Ms. Ludwig?
No, I do not.
And forgive me for interrupting you while you were speaking. Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add just in closing specifically about the comments in the
specifically,
Center's
until
meeting?
I have the money for the car, it won't be done. I'm going to assume that he put those spare parts to the car on the side behind the fence, which I thought putting the fence up was going to, take away all this stuff because it is a 6-foot-high fence. And it does, it's back where the house is and at the end of the neighbor's fence, so it doesn't come forward. But I thought by him putting that stuff back there that it would be okay. As far as the tires, I haven't looked in the backyard, to be honest with you, so I don't know if there are 2 tires back there. It's possible, but I know the lawn has been mowed. The last time they said they were gonna come out, I think the day before, I got hold of the lawn guy, he was across the street, and he came over and mowed my lawns for me in the very back of the house. No, but as far as everything else, I mean, looking at the picture of the front of the house, I mean, I do have a barbecue grill there and a rocking chair, I think. And my 3-wheel bike is there, and my granddaughter's bike is there. Not sure what else is there.
Okay, thank you very much. And just questions? Yes, please.
Are you planning on keeping the car?
The car?
Yeah.
Yes, we need it for work.
How long do you think it's gonna take for it to be running?
Well, we've been trying. I have to have the money to be able to pay somebody to finish it at this point in time. And honestly and truly, I do not have it.
No, I understand that.
I do plan on getting it fixed because my husband works and he does need a car.
I empathize with that. However, somebody apparently did call and complain, and therefore there's some neighbor somewhere who is upset about the car being there, and I guess the lawn too, but the lawn I think could be taken care of very easily. But the car, I'm wondering if it's gonna cost you a great deal of money to have it fixed, would it be best to have the car towed away with a blower engine, and then when you get enough money, buy a used car somewhere?
You mean get rid of the car?
Yeah.
Well, when we bought the car, we paid $25,000 for it, which was back in '07, and we've paid it off. We did. I don't think that we would get anything for it. I mean, with a blown motor the way it is, but the thing is, we have been doing it. The motor there is a motor in it right now, and it is not a blown motor. The motor in it right now is brand new. All it has to do now is to be hooked up.
So you paid the $9,000 for a new motor?
No, I paid, we've put about $5,000 so far since January into the car.
With a rebuilt motor?
We went with a rebuilt motor, so the only thing that's left on it now, and I don't even have the pictures with me, my phone's in the car, but the only thing I have left now is the wiring harness and stuff to be put up. The front end of the car was taken off to get the motor out and put the motor in. Now, the motor's in, I need to get somebody to hook it up. And, I've been trying to have my son do it, and
I'm afraid I'm going to interrupt. I just feel like we're really far away from the task at hand, which is dealing with the fact that there is, as stated by the city.
I just wondered what the car.
Okay, we've got an abandoned car, we've got an overgrown yard, and we have debris stored on the side of the house. So
Yeah, but the car is not abandoned.
at this time, I'm going to close the public portion of the testimony. Does the board have any questions of the city? Or would like to make any, after that, excuse me, any questions of Ms. Sanner? Would someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion.
You can. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
He
6.
can, he's filling in for,
Okay,
he takes
all right.
Mark's.
I just want to make sure that, you're sitting as an alternate, but I want to make sure that you could be,
But I know
In
the
this-
chairman's not here.
yes, and that's what I was doing. I was counting my numbers to make sure that you were number 7, Mr. Plunkett. Okay, sorry, apologize.
I move based on testimony, evidence, facts presented in law that at the time of the alleged violation, section 8, are we looking at, excuse me a second, are we looking at all of them or just the abandoned motor vehicles?
Right down at the bottom.
That violation of 8-40,
8-22 is the first one on the list, sir. Here you go.
thank you.
Here's the list.
8-22, 8-40, 8-52, 40.00, IPMC 9-1, and IPMC 302-8. We're in violation of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Tarpon Springs. We're enforced. Respondent has until, I'll go to September 26th, to come into compliance with this code section, or a fine of $50 per day shall be imposed for each day thereafter that the respondent remain in violation of the said code.
Would someone like to second that motion?
I'll second it. We'll try it and see how it goes.
Is there any discussion?
Well, I think that we need to point out that at least according to the documentation provided by the inspector, that this is there have been 10 previous cases on this property since 2001. So this appears to be a flagrant and persistent problem. And I think that may be one of the reasons that apparently the city inspector proposed a fine of $100 per day, which is somewhat steep under normal circumstances, but not necessarily steep in line with the fact that it's been reported that there have been 10 cases against this property since 2001. I'd like my fellow board members to bear that in mind as we vote.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Plunkett?
Yes.
Mr. Sobleski?
No.
Mr. Demontis?
No.
Ms. Archer?
No.
Mr. Kramer?
No.
Ms. Vaquesi?
No.
Chair Vesey?
No.
Try again. I'm gonna go with Cindy. You want me to read the motion?
Failed.
May we have a new motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion. I move, based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented in law, that at the time of the alleged violation, sections 8-22, 8-40, 8-52, 40.00, IPMC 9-1, and IPMC 302.8 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Tarpon Springs were enforced. The respondent has until August 28, 2014 to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day shall be imposed for each day thereafter the respondent remains in violation of the code sections.
Second.
Any discussion? A roll call, please.
Mr. Plunkett?
No.
Mr. Sobleski?
Yes.
Mr. Demontis?
Yes.
Ms. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Ms. Vaquesi?
Yes.
Chair Vesey?
Yes.
Carried.
Mrs. Ludwig, thank you for coming and taking the time to,
Does this mean that if I don't have the car running by the 28th of August, then I'm going to be fined $100 a day?
Or move it, get it out of there.
But the car looks perfectly fine. They've got a front end, it's all there, it just isn't running.
I believe that Ms. Sander can be a tremendous amount of help in describing what you need to do to come into compliance. If she hasn't already described that to you. It needs to be operable. Thank you.
Well, it's not going to happen. I don't have the money.
Case number 14-800-00422. Is anyone in the audience for 1449 Lake Tarpon Avenue?
This is case 14-800-00422. The property address is 1449 Lake Tarpon Avenue. It's a vacant lot. The property owner of record is DCA LLC. This was a proactive case on June 18th of 2014. This vacant lot was overgrown and not being maintained. It was in violation of codes 8-40, duty of maintenance of private property, 8-52, nuisance prohibitions. The property owner of record, as determined by the Pinellas County Tax Collector or by the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, was issued a courtesy letter on June 18th and a notice of violation on July 1st, and a notice of hearing sent first-class mail and certified return receipt on July 17th. The notices were sent to at least 2 addresses for the property owner. A site inspection was conducted prior to each notification being issued. I posted the property on July 30th and conducted a reinspection yesterday, August 13th, and found no change. The vacant lot is overgrown. This property is in violation of codes 8-40 and 8-52. Recommend a compliance date of August 28th and a daily fine thereafter of $25 per day.
Thank you. Any questions of the city staff?
Yes, I have one. Do you feel that since June, when you first went and viewed the property, that the grass has been cut at least once or twice from June to yesterday?
No, it
Thank
hasn't
you.
been touched.
The owners in the state?
The owners own the, from what we understand, own the restaurant right there.
The turtle?
Tarpon Turtle. And 2 other properties that they own were also cited along with this one, and they took care of the other 2, but not this.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Ms. Manusos, would you check those in as evidence, please? Thank you. Any other questions? May I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion. I move, based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented, and law, that at the time of the alleged violations, sections 8-40 and 8-52 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Tarpon Springs were in force. The respondent has until the August 28th, 2014, to come into compliance with code section, or a fine of $50 a day shall be imposed each day thereafter as respondents remain in violation of said code sections.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Plunkett?
Yes.
Mr. Sobleski?
Yes.
Mr. Demontis?
Yes.
Ms. Archer?
yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Ms. Vaquesi?
Yes.
Chair Vesey?
Yes.
Good.
Item number 6 is deferred. Item number 7 is complied, taking us to item number 8, case 14-800000441. Is anyone in the audience for 318 through 322 East Boyer Street? Good afternoon. Would you please say your name and address, please?
My name is Adel Mikhail. My name is Adel Mikhail. We are owner of San Anthony Investment at 318 and 322 East Boyer Street.
Thank you.
East Boyer Street. And this is my son. He's with us on the San Anthony Investment. His name.
My name is Anthony McHale.
That's yesterday?
Yeah,
Yesterday?
that wasn't there. Wait. No, this is June 25th. This was yesterday. Okay. Alright, okay. This was yesterday. Okay.
Can we explain that now?
Thank you.
case 14-800000441. Property address is 318 to 322 East Boyer Street, and the property owner of record is St. Anthony Investments LLC. We received a complaint on June 18th from Pat Weber, who is the director of the Tarpon Springs Housing Authority. She stated that the people living in this fourplex have trash all over the place. A site visit was conducted on June 25th. I found mattresses and trash on the vacant lot next to this property and trash on the right-of-way and on this property. This property was in violation of codes 8-16, pre-collection practices, 8-22, accumulation of trash and debris on private property, 8-24, throwing trash and debris on the property of another, and 8-40, duty of maintenance of private property. The property owner of record, as determined by the Pinellas County Tax Collector or by the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, was issued a notice of violation on June 25th and a notice of hearing sent first-class mail and certified return receipt on July 14th, and an amended notice of hearing on July 17th. A site inspection was conducted prior to each notification being issued. I posted the property on July 31st and conducted a reinspection yesterday. Although cleaned up, there were trash cans still at the curb 2 days after pickup, and there was some trash on the adjacent property. This property is in violation of codes 8-16, 8-22, 8-24, and 8-40. I make a recommendation of a compliance deadline of August 28th of 2014, or a daily fine thereafter, $50 per day. These are rental units, and, you know, while I understand that it's difficult for the property owners to police, they still have a duty to make sure that their tenants are treating the property with respect.
Do you have any questions of Ms. Sanner and what she just presented?
Yeah, that picture is old, and I
Right.
did bring some people and they clean it all. Another thing is, next door to us is empty land. We not own it, it's somebody else, just
Yes, I
next door.
understand.
The empty land is, every time, we're not supposed to clean it, but when you mentioned this to us, we did clean it. There is a mattress, people come dump the stuff over there. We're not supposed to get any violation about next door land, because we're not only people from the whole town, when they have some dumping stuff, they come and dump it over there. And we went rent a truck and we took the whole mattress, the whole stuff, we clean it, and you saw that, right?
Yes.
You remember that big mattresses?
Yes.
It's not it's not the people living over there, but there is somebody from the neighborhood came and they dumped this stuff over there, and we move it. And after a week or two, we found some other people came and dumped another, the last picture.
It's old wood.
That's old wood. I don't know from where this is coming. That's about that next door
Okay.
empty lot. About our land, about our property, Anthony, he did something to them over here.
We sent out a letter to the tenants. If you want me to, I have copies. Would you like?
No, it's gonna come to Cindy to take a look at it first, and if she has no objection, then it'll come right down the pike like the photographs did.
These are all the copies. Or would you like this one too?
We give it to the tenant, and we bought them a new trash can.
With
and
lids, so they
with the
can.
lid, and we told them, put the trash inside that, and we bought that from Walmart over here. We give it to them, but I think they need like a classroom to teach in them, because every time we bring somebody to clean around, 2 days, and we find the place is the same thing.
And we explained to them that when they leave their trash open outside, not only does it bring like bugs and wildlife, but when it rains, it stings, it like makes a bad odor. And that's like disrespect for the people who have to come and pick it up. And I mean, we explained to them that they have to keep the garbage bins next to their house, and then on the day of garbage, which is Mondays and Thursdays over there, so they take it out, and then when the garbage is picked up, they return the garbage bin back.
Another thing, each apartment over there, they got bunch of kids, and the kids always ruin the stuff around. Like they eat the chips, the drink, and they throw it. And every time we go over there, we keep picking up the stuff. We're getting tired of that. I don't know what to do. I need help.
Okay. Cindy, do you have any questions? Excuse me, Ms. Sano, do you have any questions of the gentleman?
The code -8-24 throwing trash and debris on the property of another relates to the city right-of-way, and the fact that the first pictures, when it was really bad, you know, you can see that it was all over the city right-of-way.
So for clarification, that wasn't the mattresses on the lot, that was the fact that the boulevard right there was full of garbage.
We were told, or I was told, when we got the complaint, that one of the residents at the Housing Authority saw someone from one of the tenants dispose of their items on the vacant lot. So that's why we had asked that this property owner clean that up. As far as the wood that's there now, there's no way of knowing who put it there, but the concern is that the trash cans are left on the public right-of-way. There's no lids on the trash cans. The animals get into them and spread the garbage all over. And this was occurring for quite some time until the Housing Authority decided to call code enforcement. I'm confident that this issue will be handled by the property owners.
Oh, I have something to say. Is it okay if I say something?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when I spoke to Ms. Sanders this morning, she told me something that was pretty helpful. I asked her, what do we do if they, time and time again, they're not following basic orders? So she said that we can evict them. So if this is, I mean, I guess after time and time, if they're not listening, then we have no choice but to give them an eviction notice. But if we do that, it is going to take some time with the paperwork, because then we're going to have to go to court and everything is going to have, I mean, if
What
that's
I would recommend you do is maybe, since trash pickup is on Monday and Thursday, go out to the property on Thursday and on Tuesday and Friday, and just
Okay.
make sure the trash cans are on, you know, by the units and not on the city right-of-way. Just make sure the city right-of-way is clean.
Are we allowed to give them like a fine or something, or are we not?
That's a question for your attorney,
Oh, okay.
that I don't know.
All right. Okay.
I think you did, that was a smart idea, just give your tenants that letter.
Yeah, we gave
It's a
them
good
the
start.
Because, I mean, it's disrespectful for the people across the street. I mean, we saw it, and then we ourselves were the ones who had to clean it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think they feel good when they saw us go over there and pick up the trash and put it. And when they saw that next day, we found the same thing, like they enjoying this. We need to stop this, but
Yeah.
I called the cop a couple times. The cop said, what we can do. One day I called the cop about, something embarrassing, but I smell like something drugs or around there. I called the cop. He said, since inside, don't worry about it. Just they living inside. We can't do nothing to them. It's a law itself. It's something in the law.
Okay, thank you very
Somebody
much.
doing something wrong, like if I'm driving and I throw anything on the street, the cop going to give me a ticket, right? That's in the law. The same thing, if the people living over there and throw some stuff over there, there is some enforcement has to come to these people living over there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A comment. Don't you feel that perhaps you should be a little more vigilant in who you rent to? I mean,
Go ahead.
you're a landlord, if you
How do you
have
know
this.
until they move there?
Pardon me?
How do you know until they move in what kind of pigs they're
Well,
gonna?
once they have moved in and you see that you're getting violations, I think you do have some type of a responsibility.
If I may follow up, ultimately, you are responsible daily.
responsible?
Absolutely. You're responsible.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to close the public portion. Can we put those photos into evidence, please?
And the letter.
And the letter, please. And can I ask for a motion? May I have a motion, please?
I move based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented in law, that at the time of the alleged violations, sections 8-16, 8-22, 8-24, and 8-40 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Tarpon Springs were in force. The respondent has until the 28th day of August 2014 to come into compliance with this code section, or a fine of $50 per day shall be imposed for each day thereafter the respondent remains in violation of the said code sections.
Second.
Any discussion? A roll call, please.
Mr. Plunkett? Mr. Sobleski?
No.
Mr. Demontis?
Yes.
Ms. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
No.
Ms. Vacy?
Yes.
Chair Bessie?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you for coming, gentlemen.
Oh, I have a question. What if we need a little bit more time? Because
I'm sorry, we got the time. We cleaned it a couple times. You went over there and you see, we cleaned it by ourselves. What should I do? Leave my work and stay over there? Everybody threw any trash, I have to pick it up to make it clean? That's not right.
You may want to consult with our sanitation department. Maybe there's an alternate, instead of individual trash cans, maybe a small dumpster.
I did, we did. We buy them a new cans. You
Yeah.
saw the
Not
new
what she
cans.
said.
No, that's not what I'm
Wait,
saying.
Nancy.
Listen
Get
to
a
what she
dumpster.
says.
Maybe a small dumpster or toters. You know, that might be an alternate,
The people themselves, they
I
they
know.
don't wanna clean. You
I
go
understand,
over
you're
there,
in a tough position.
I'm going to clean it today and go tomorrow. Go today afternoon, look at it. I'm going to clean it by myself. We did. We bring a gloves
It's a big
and pick up
improvement.
everything around the
I
houses.
understand. I know you're trying.
And next day it's happened. People dumping in next door. What we should do?
Start
I-
eviction notice right away.
I called the cop. It's the same thing.
No, they can't do anything.
I believe that Ms. Sanner knows
If
that
I can't do anything, why should I have to pay
Perhaps-
fine
Anthony,
for it?
the
Can
public
you leave
dumping
us
might
your
not be
phone
there.
number, please?
Okay.
And then if I see any future issues, I'll just call you directly.
Okay, if we set the eviction notice, but that takes time, so will we still get in trouble if they're not out by the 28th?
Just keep in touch with me,
Okay, all
all
right,
right?
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Item number 9, case 14-800000447. Is anyone present for 1124 East Boyer Street? Ms. Sanner?
This is case 14-800000447. The property address is 1124 East Boyer Street, and the property owner of record is Russ E. Bowl. This is a repeat violator, previous case 13-8000002. This is a proactive case on June 26th of 2014. I happened to notice that there was a boat parked on the city right-of-way. This property was in violation of Code 42.00, parking or storage of recreational vehicles in residential zones, as a repeat violator. The property owner of record, as determined by the Pinellas County Tax Collector or by the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, was issued a notice of hearing, sent first-class mail, and certified return receipt on June 26th of 2014. The property was posted on July 30th of 2014, and at that time I noticed there was no boat on the right-of-way. It was in compliance for Code 42.00. I conducted a reinspection yesterday and found it to be still in compliance. This property was in violation of Code 42.00 from June 26th to July 29th. I'm recommending a one-time fine of $50 to $100 because I had no way of knowing when the property came into compliance.
And it'll be back there again.
Hopefully not.
Any questions of Ms. Sanner? I think we've seen that boat parked in that right-of-way before.
All the time.
I'll make a motion.
We'll take a motion.
I move based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented, and law that the respondent was in violation of section 42.00 of the Tarpon Springs City Code of Ordinances from June 26th to July 29th. Ooh. the initial inspection date until, okay. Stop. I'm sorry, I'm gonna start over. I move based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented in law that the respondent was in violation of Code Section 42.00 of the Tarpon Springs City Code of Ordinance. It says from June 26, 2014, the initial inspection date until compliance on July 29th, 2014. A fine of $50 per day for, and see, I thought it was 4 days, June.
No, what I'm doing is a one-time fine
So,
amount of,
how many days is it? Do you know that?
don't know.
Okay.
That's
then-
why I'm asking, just do a one-time fine amount.
Oh, instead of,
She's just suggesting a fine of something.
okay, a one-time, I see. All right.
Let me jump in here. You can't just do a one-time fine unless it's an irreversible or irreparable harm has been completed, and you don't know whether or not it will ever come into compliance again. So what you need to do, the easiest way to do it is to find it in violation for 1 day and set a fine for that
Okay.
1 day, and that will solve the issue that Ms. Sander is asking for. Don't say June 26th to July 29th, and it's only $50.
Okay,
So that's the
Why
simplest
don't
way,
we
just
just say the
fine for
date?
1 day, and then whatever the dollar amount is.
okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick it up halfway through this, if it's okay. Was in violation, and there will be a fine for 1 day of $100.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to have made it more. Well, only, you know,
Roll call, please.
Mr. Plunkett?
Yes.
Mr. Sobleski?
Yes.
Mr. Demontis?
Yes.
Ms. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Ms. Vacy?
yeah, yes.
Vice Chair Bessie?
Yes. Item number 10, case 14-800000473. Is there anyone in the audience for 1673 Seabreeze Drive? Ms. Anna?
I'm going to start this case with just a little summary, because this is something new that I'm bringing to your attention. If you'll take a look at the memo that you should have received today, and it's probably the last page in your backup material. Just for your knowledge, a tourist home is a single-family dwelling where the primary use is to provide temporary lodging accommodations for compensation to tourists for 6 weeks or less. Tourist homes are a permitted use in the resort residential district and a conditional use in residential multifamily district, residential office district, waterfront development district, and waterfront commercial fishing and tourism redevelopment district. In residential planned developments like West Winds, Harbor Oaks, Grassy Point, Whitcomb Place, and so on, rentals are restricted to no less than 6 months, once per year. And tourist homes are addressed and cited by zoning and definition, not by ordinance. This is case 14-800000473. The property address is 1673 Seabreeze Drive. The property owner of record is the Mark V. Sarkis Trust with Mark V. Sarkis as trustee. On June 30th of 2014, we received a complaint from Carol Johnson. She stated that this house was being advertised as a tourist home for periods of time less than 6 weeks. On that same day, I checked HomeAway.com and found this property listed as listing 588679, advertising a 7-night minimum stay. And I have the ad from June 30th and also the ad from this morning. Submit to you. I sent an email via that website to the property owner telling them to either change the listing to reflect the 6-week minimum stay or remove the listing altogether. This property was in violation of codes 25.02 single-family residential zoning and Appendix A, Article 14, 241.00 definitions, 213 tourist home. The property owner of record, as determined by the Pinellas County Tax Collector, or by the Pinellas County Property Appraiser, was issued a notice of violation on July 3rd and a notice of hearing sent first-class mail and certified return receipt on July 22nd. The property was posted on July 31st. I conducted a re-inspection yesterday. There were no out-of-state vehicles parked on the property, and the listing in HomeAway.com has been changed to a minimum stay of 6 weeks. The property is compliance, but I'm asking for the property to be found in violation of codes 25.02 and Appendix A, Article 14, 241.00 definitions, 213 tourist home to be established.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since that would be a business, would they not also need an occupational license?
It's really not considered a business.
So would someone that was operating a bed and breakfast, would they require an
That's
operation?
different.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions of city staff? Would someone like to make a motion?
I will. Let me make sure. Let me do the first page, right?
Yeah, there isn't one specifically. Make it up.
Okay. I move based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented in law that at the time of the alleged violation, section 25.02,
Appendix A,
okay, Appendix A, Article
14.
I don't do good with Roman numerals.
14.
241.00 definitions, 213 tourist home, no, 213. Of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Tarpon Springs were enforced. The respondent was in violation. He's now in compliance. There is no fine.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Plunkett? Mr. Plunkett?
I'm not sure I understand it. Other than what Cindy has given us here.
Do you know where this is?
Before I vote, can I ask why this is in violation?
It's being established. They were in violation. They're not anymore, but I'm bringing it forward to you to be established. In the event that they start advertising for a period of more than 6 weeks, there'll be a repeat violation.
If they rent it for more than 6 weeks,
No, if they rent it, if they advertise it again, for a period of less than 6 weeks, then they would be in violation as a repeat violator. They can't rent it for a period of less than 6 weeks. 6 weeks, or it's considered a tourist home if they do, and it's not a properly zoned area to operate a tourist home,
okay, that makes a lot of sense.
okay?
Okay, yes.
Mr. Selesky?
Yes.
Mr. Demontes?
Yes.
Ms. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Ms. Vacy?
Yes.
Chair Bessie?
Yes. Affidavits of noncompliance.
I move we accept the affidavits of noncompliance in case number 132000077 and case number 14-800000166, case number 14-800000309.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, I just need to jump in here, just to make sure, just for the record, there's nobody here in the audience for any of these cases. The audience is completely gone. So, okay. Just need to make that reference for the record.
Thank you. We have a motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against?
I
The
move-
ayes carry.
I move the affidavits of compliance be accepted in case number 0780002068, case number 11-200000010, case number 12800000693, case number 14800000309, case number 14800000346, case number 14800000447.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes carry.
You do that, so.
We're just section 3.
Yes, sir, Mr. Plunkett.
Only have one more month, then you can do it.
14-800-473. What was the fine and, on that particular, we're just establishing there's no fine?
That's correct.
That's correct,
Right.
That's the tourist fine?
right.
You were out driving around, where's Big Bass Lake at, where's Big Bass Road at, or whatever. You were driving.
I move to
By there,
approve
it's
the
over- it's
minutes
over
from
The other side of 19.
okay,
Right
the
near lake,
April,
almost on the lake.
May, and
Some of it's
June
on the lake.
meetings. Second.
Second.
A roll call, please.
Mr. Plunkett?
Yes.
Mr. Zablesky?
Yes.
Mr. Demotsis?
Yes.
Ms. Archer?
Yes.
Yes,
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
yes.
Chair Vesey?
Yes.
Nice job, Justin. Thank you.
Well, you're gonna go through public comments, board and staff comments.
Super. Are there any public comments? There be any board and/or staff comments?
I have a comment I'd like to make, if it's permissible. And that is, despite the impression that some of the violators that were present here might have today, this board is not lacking in compassion towards the people that appear in front of us. But we also have a responsibility for all of the citizens in Tarpon Springs. And I understood the one lady who had the issue, financial issue, but I also understand that there were at least 10 other cases that appeared before. I understand that these gentlemen are trying to run a lodging facility, but I also understand that there's neighbors there that have to face that garbage. There's people that have to drive down that highway every day that have to see that. They're making a profit on the fact that they have tenants there. So they have a responsibility. And I just want to point out, we're not here to try to raise money. We're trying to make Tarpon Springs a better place for all of its citizens. But sometimes we have to find people. And it's not because of a lack of either empathy or compassion, but it's a responsibility that we all bear. And I don't think we do it lightly, and I think we do it very fairly, and I just want to make that comment. So,
Well said. Thank you very much. Any other comments? I have, oh, yes, ma'am.
I heard the man said that there was an adjacent lot to his property. And I believe, I'm not sure if it's his tenant or did he say other people come and dump on there? Now, who's responsible for that vacant lot?
The simple question is the property owner of the vacant lot, or if the city was successful enough in actually seeing someone dumping it there, it would be that person that was actually doing the dumping as well. So,
Okay, because what I was a little bit confused about, I'm not sure if he was being held responsible on the adjacent lot for someone else,
no, the answer was no. And that's why I think Ms. Santa was trying to make it clear when she was citing him for the garbage or the litter on the adjacent property. What she was talking about is the right-of-way in front of that fence or the sidewalk and so forth. And there is the difference there.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sure.
I do have one comment, and this is just a reminder of our last meeting that we had discussed those severe repeat violators and our desire to create a method that we can address those. Yes, ma'am?
Thanks to Attorney Trask, we have a meeting set up week after next.
I'm not sure, but I know that it is set.
Yeah, it's a set meeting. I reviewed the ordinances that were provided to me, and I have my own recommendations. So Attorney Trask and myself and my supervisor will be sitting down and going through this, and then it will, well, we can let them know what's going on, but the BOC is the ultimate deciding body.
Would it be appropriate? Would it be appropriate for there to be any board input into that discussion?
At this point, I think that, what the city manager's direction was is let's just sit down with staff and with the city attorney's office, see what we're willing to do. Then I'm sure that they'll come forward and give a recommendation or, bring up to speed, whether it's Cindy or myself or the city manager. But you have the right to appear at the public hearings if the ordinance is being considered and discuss it at the public hearings. There'll be 2 of those.
Thank you. Terrific. Thank you very much.
Oh, just one thing for the public, and I don't know how many people actually watch this hearing. But with school starting next week, just make sure that if you have any trees in front of your property, that there's a 10-foot clearance over the sidewalk, that you don't have any vegetation encroaching onto a sidewalk. Just, make sure the sidewalk is free and clear so that the students can walk to and from school without any issues.
Agreed. I'm going to close this meeting at 3:05.
You enjoyed that too much.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, we got to have a little humor in the day. Can't be all hard. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Mr. Trask. Don't touch the chocolate. Oh.
Yeah. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just sucking up.
That's good stuff. This is recycled.
Okay. And I will call you the board orders.
Oh, that's right. Get to come and sign.
Yeah.
Stuck all the
Oh, okay.
paper clips together on that one.